All right. Thank you guys so much. This was awesome. You guys were a great crowd. It was fun. All right. So I guess we're just going to start a Q&A, and whoever has questions, raise your hand. I think we have other microphones that are going to go around, or
we have one.
Test, 1, 2. Test,
or maybe you can just
1, 2.
shout if you have a loud voice. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Does anybody have a question for JJ? Okay, right here.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I'm carrying this, but it doesn't work.
Oh, okay, no worries. All right.
I don't know, demons. Yell it out.
Okay, so my question is, in presenting this to the management at Interspace and all the years it's been here, was there any were there hurdles to jump over to allow them to film in there? I mean, you all, I know you personally, you all are very protective of this cave.
Yes, we are. It was a slight challenge, but then it wasn't, just because they trusted us, because we work there every day and they know that we're going to protect the cave. There was a couple of hurdles to get over, like the actual owner of the cave, making sure it was okay with him, because again, usually they don't let productions like this happen. But it was honestly pretty easy. I had some inspiration to make a film, and I started writing. I was like, okay, so where do I want to have it? And almost the first thing that came to mind was the cave, because where else, who else can get a location like that? So I started writing it, and then once it was done, I just went up to Tanya, which is the manager, and handed her the script. I was like, I want to make this. Please read it and let me know what you think. And if you say yes, I'll give you a part in the movie. So she plays the manager in the movie. That was kind of the sweet talk, I guess, to make it happen. But it was almost bribery. Yeah. It was almost an immediate yes. So.
It was a fun film. I loved it.
Thank you.
Who is your DP and what camera equipment did you use?
Unfortunately, I was my own DP.
Oh, were you your own DP? Okay.
I didn't really know a whole lot of people making this. Now I know a lot of people because I've been to film festivals and all that stuff, but at the time I didn't know anybody, and so I just said, all right, I'm gonna do it. But yeah, it was a challenge because I didn't know what I was doing, so it's not the best. It's not the best cinematography, but I learned as I went, and I know the next one's gonna be better for sure.
It was awesome.
Thank you.
It was great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
What equipment did you use?
So I straight up just went to Best Buy and bought the most expensive camera. Oh, that's the one. Yeah, totally forgot. Yeah, that's the camera right there that we filmed the movie with. It was about $1,000, and it shoots in 4K. So.
Okay.
So no lenses, no extra lenses.
No.
Yeah.
It was all just one camera with you can't change lenses.
There were a couple of shots, the real close-ups, where it looked like it might have been a different lens just because of perspective, but yeah.
I guess that's just the 4K. The closer you get, the better it looks. You can see all the little dimples in your face.
Do you have a question here?
Yeah, okay. So I know that you were in the film supposed to be going into those places in the cave that not everybody goes in, but was most of it filmed in the main part of the cave that's on the tours, or did you actually go into some of those back rooms?
It depends on what you mean by the main part of the cave. They're both. So where we filmed is actually a place you can go and take a tour at.
Right.
But it's not the main tour. So the main tour that's been there since the 60s, since that cave opened, that's like the bigger rooms with the lights and the concrete pathway and all that. We went to a section that they actually just created a trail back there back in 2011 is when they started. So it's a newer tour that we do. It's called the Hidden Passage Tour. So everybody who got a coupon, you can go take the Hidden Passage Tour and see
And
what
I
it's
noticed
like.
that there were a couple places where people were actually touching, the cave too. Aren't there some
So
places
yes, a lot of people give us crap about that. You're not supposed to touch caves. but you're not supposed to touch formations is the actual rule. So the stuff that's growing, that whenever you touch those, it kills it, makes it stop growing. It's the oils. What you saw people touching were just rocks. But we tell people you can't touch the cave because a lot of times people don't know the difference between a rock and a formation. So we just have to say don't touch anything. But the stuff you saw them touch were just rocks. They weren't formations.
And how long did it take you to film?
We filmed over a course of 23 nights, and but because everybody had their own job, most of us worked at the cave, or a lot of people went to college or school, so we had to find just time where we can all get together. So it was over 23 nights, but it was over a course of 3 months, and it was from around 6 p.m. after closing, sometimes to around midnight one morning. So. Overall, though, it took 14 months to make. Writing, filming, editing, scoring, making the music, all that stuff. So, by the way, if anybody has questions for Enzo, too, I only have one microphone, so.
Yeah, I know you wrote the script yourself. Were there some local stories or local legends that inspired you, though?
Yes, there was. Good question.
Tell us about that.
So I got the inspiration for the whole cult aspect of the movie because there is a legend or a story that goes around in Interspace that there was some Freemason meetings that went on in the cavern. Those set pieces that you saw at the beginning of the film and when they did the ritual, those concrete rectangular things, those were there. We didn't put those there. So those were apparently by the Freemasons. So we don't know what they were doing, but it looks pretty culty down there. We don't really tell people that a lot, but that's apparently what went on. So I took that as an inspiration to make this. It nowhere near based on a true story. It's not about the Freemasons, but that's kind of where I got the inspiration from.
And I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
So when you were filming in the cave, how did you kind of ensure that you were getting the shots you wanted with the lighting and all that being an issue filming in such a dark place?
Again, it was difficult. That was probably that was the most difficult thing about filming was the lighting, I think, because it's a cave. How do you light it? It's supposed to be dark, right? So another thing was there's no power in that part of the cave. So the closest power is far, far away. Like extension cords are not gonna cut it. So, and we can't have a generator down there either because you can't have gas, a gas-powered engine in a closed space. Also, it would damage the formations. So I just had to buy like a $300 camping battery that you can only plug one light to. I plugged a studio light, put a couple of blue gels on it, and try to match it. Try to match the flashlight light. That's all we had was just one light. So I think that was very difficult to be sure that it didn't look stupid to where it looked like we were obviously trying to light up the shot, and being sure it wasn't too dark to where you can't see it. So.
You had a question?
Yeah, I could throw a bunch out, but I'll stick with one.
This doesn't work, so, oh, it does work, okay. I can project anyway. Question about the sound. I'm an audio guy as well, a bunch of things. I noticed the sound up top, not so good. The sound down below was really good.
Oh, you went up there?
No, I noticed in the cave, your sound down below for the film was really good.
Oh,
The
yeah.
sound up top was not even like
There's a reason for that,
Yes,
yes.
so I'm just curious, what was it? Technical reason or?
No, it was, and that's my amateurness, I guess, not knowing anything about microphones and audio really. So in the building scenes, there was air conditioning constantly going on, and I didn't think that you would be able to hear that every single shot. But the original, the raw footage was horrible.
Yeah.
It was like
You did a good job cleaning it.
it was bad. Luckily, I have an awesome friend. I work for a band. I know a lot of musicians, and I have an awesome friend that fixed that audio for me. His name is Luke Jenkins, and he did amazing. He did all the score as well. He cleaned up the audio so much. It is like night and day difference. But yeah, it was it was like air conditioned stuff. Sometimes the ice machine was going on in the building. So just a bunch of that stuff. And then the outdoor scenes, there was the highways right there for one thing. it was so loud. And you know, when we were filming and we were hearing it in the headphones, I don't even think about that stuff. But now I'm gonna think about it every single time. And then the wind and all that stuff. All right, but in the cave, usually caves are pretty echoey. Our cave is not. It's like a recording studio in there. So there's a rock in there that absorbs sound.
Yeah.
And it's called dolomite. So it's everywhere down there. So we don't have great acoustics. It's a great recording studio, basically. So that's why the audio was much better in the cave than in the building.
She's going to let me ask another question now. It's one about the writing. So obviously the characters, you know, a great part of this film is the characters. You have kind of all the different types of, you know, nerd. We have a kind of a jock. We have, you know, all the sort of stereotypical, and they fit the casting really well. Which obviously, if you already had to pick your cast based on who worked there. Did you write to the employees, which was your cast?
JJ, choose your next words very carefully.
I didn't say who was who.
Yes, I specifically wrote the roles, for the most part, for these individuals. Because they're not actors. And I wanted them to feel as comfortable as possible. So, yes, I did write it for them. And I kind of wrote it for them, like playing themselves. They're kind of playing a parody of themselves though, so it's like them times 10 in a way. So like the Sarah character, she is kind of goofy, but nothing like that. You know.
You tell Megan you said that.
I know. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got it on recording.
Things are there.
What's up?
Riffing off this. What was it like for the actors to develop their character, or for you specifically? Like, where did you find it, not being a trained actor per se? How was it?
Good question. Oh, don't look at me like that. A lot of it was just basically, I mean, like you said, he kind of wrote it for us. And so a lot of what you saw was more or less how a normal conversation in Interspace goes. Just a little less subtle, I guess.
So,
Do you have something to say?
yeah,
I specifically wrote the lead role for him because he kind of had a little bit of experience.
Stop.
So he had a show when he was a kid. It was an educational show. And because of that, he was on Ellen and the Today Show and all that stuff. So he had experience in front of a camera before. He just never acted. But he still had that experience. So I knew he would pull it off. And this weekend, he was nominated for Best Actor in San Diego, California.
Enzo, what was it like playing a character you knew was going to get bumped off?
Whatever.
That's so
I'm still
good.
here, right?
Yes. Oh, I got a loud voice. I will make
Yes.
it out there. So, well, I guess this is a little more intimate. So I do have a double whammy question. I do want to show Enzo a little more love. Since you've had some success with the film, and since you've got a storied career from Ellen now to Beneath, do you want to pursue acting further? Do you want to retire back to giving tours at Interspace? What's your next project?
So, I can yell. We are tour guides. We have tour guide voices. So I actually, both he and I have been offered another role in a different film, and so you actually do like
The filmmakers.
Filmmaker's right over here. So if you want to harass him, by all means, he's right there. And so it's not something I look forward to as a career, but as just kind of a side thing.
A
Just,
nice hobby.
just for fun. Yeah, a hobby. I need a
yeah.
hobby. Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
So yeah,
I'm looking forward to it. We're gonna be in we're gonna be in the film together in starting in December, I guess. It's a great script. It's like a road trip movie, and there's gonna be a little incorporation of Beneath into it in a way. Hope I'm not saying too much.
No, that actually is a great segue into my questions for you, JJ.
Okay.
So we've now been teased the Beneath Cinematic Universe. That's a cool place to start, but this is your first feature film, and as I'm reading this film and as I'm sitting here taking my notes, I'm seeing the product of somebody who loves the genre very, very much. And obviously this is a feature film, you're not going to be drawing from yourself at this point, but did you have any influences that you were calling back to or paying homage to as you were creating the film?
Absolutely. The whole reason this movie exists is because of an independent horror filmmaker. His name's Adam Green. He's my favorite director. He made a series called Hatchet. Not the book. It's a horror franchise, but it's kind of independent indie film. So he actually had made a sequel to this series. It was the fourth in the series, and he was touring it he was touring in America, and he had a stop in Houston. So I went to go see it. And also keep in mind that prior to this, I've had the inspiration to make films before, but I kind of lost it. I just didn't think I would be able to do it. I've heard lots of horror stories about it. So I kind of lost that inspiration a little bit, but when I went to go see his film, I thought it was so awesome because out of the whole series, it was the lowest budget he had. Because unfortunately, in this day and age, people are downloading movies illegally or waiting for Netflix, which doesn't get these filmmakers paid, so the budgets are dropping. Because of that, he had the lowest budget, but it seemed like it was the biggest. And I thought that was so awesome that he pulled it off. And then after the movie, I talked to him, and he kind of gave me inspiration, and I told him that I had lost it a little bit, and then I didn't really want to do it anymore, and then he just said, dude, it's gonna be hard. There's gonna be a lot of speed bumps along the way, but if you really work for it, you're gonna get it. And whenever your friends or family tells you to keep going, it's like, oh, okay. But whenever your hero tells you to do something, I had to, right? So the following week, I started writing this, and here we are. So. He is definitely my inspiration. And his inspiration is 80s horror films, and I love 80s horror films as well. He makes a lot of throwback 80s stuff. And I also, a lot of his movies are really gory and horror, but they have lots of comedy to it. And I love that balance of the horror and the comedy, so that is where all that came from Adam Green. Look him up. Any other questions?
Two quick questions for you. The mask. Okay, so is that an original mask? Where did that come from?
So check it out. I ordered it off a website, a mask website that they sell unlicensed masks, and I bought it for $90, right? He texted me the other day. He went to Spirit Halloween, and they have this mask for $25, $30. So
I saw it and I immediately said, I'm doing this for Halloween.
Where's your tie?
It's awesome.
Yeah, I
so
can't
I'm bummed out about it a little bit. But I don't know if anybody's heard of Slender Man, but that was another inspiration was I wanted to make a sort of Slender Man movie, but not really Slender Man. So it is a play off of Slender Man, but not entirely, so I wanted something similar. Slender Man doesn't have a face at all, it's just a white thing, so.
It's a non-copyright infringing narrow person.
Yes. So I went to Spirit Halloween today, and the mask, I found the mask, and it just says mask on it. No joke, it just says mask. It doesn't say what type of mask, it just says mask.
Yeah, put it on your face. It's just a mask.
That's actually probably one of the best anecdotes you'll be able to carry with you from now on. Is like the Spirit Halloween connection. Okay, so I have this. As I was watching you go through the gate at Interspace Caverns, a thought came to me when Vince Gilligan was creating Breaking Bad, and they were in the drug lab and they were creating their meth. As a science guy, I remember thinking, come on. Don't teach people how to make meth here. What are you going to throw in to ruin this?
I know where this is going.
Yeah. And then they pulled a 50-pound bag of aluminum filings, and then I was like, there you go. You just blew up about 50 places all over the U.S. just like that. So as you're walking through the gate that we all know is right down the street, is that beefed up like Fort Knox right now?
Yes, it's not that easy to break. No, not even close. There's a good alarm system on that thing, and it's bolted pretty good, so we made it look easy. So you cannot break into the cave that easy.
So what is life like around the caverns these days? Everybody still work there?
Actually, most of them went on to go to college. One of them is in Okinawa, Japan, serving our country right now. So, yeah. So
Give it up for him.
Yeah. The guy that played Nathan is in Okinawa right now, so we all kind of went our separate ways after this movie.
We have time for one more quick question. Yes, sir? Because I got one.
Dawn has a good one.
All right.
Film producer, by the way.
First of all, I did want to compliment, of course, the whole film, but the comedy especially, that's really hard, and I always think people chicken out on that aspect, and it's hard to do right, and you did it well. The cult leader was really awesome in the front, especially.
He's right there.
Yeah, the voice. I suspect it was the same person tied to me, but I didn't see the little thing coming. That was fun. So as I personally do a lot of performing and all kinds of stuff, and so can you confirm my suspicion that when you wrote the bit, it was sort of an inside joke where you showed up, and besides getting your cameo in there, where you showed up and said, oh, I wrote in, because people do that all the time, right?
It was definitely an inside joke.
Yes.
But I'm very happy everybody gets the inside joke. It's just like at a restaurant. When people show up 5 minutes before they close, we literally get people like this. We'll get like a dad with his baby that's just crying the entire time 5 minutes before we close, or this older person that can barely walk and is a lot slower than, so that is an actual thing that happens, yes, between, so it is an inside joke between employees, but, we still love people coming in.
We have another one over here.
Sure.
Hey, so mine's not a question, it's more a request. It's your birthday. Can we sing JJ Happy Birthday? All right. Ready? Happy birthday
to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear JJ. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you guys so much. That was awesome.
Okay, one last thing. Charlene has a radio show created by, where she interviews musicians and film people that do music and everything. So she's going to replay, they're going to replay her interview with JJ tomorrow at 5, from 5 to 6. And I've listened to it, parts of it twice now, and it's a good interview, so I encourage you to
106.7, right?
106.7 KGTN.
Yeah. And has some great music too from some of my friends and some of the soundtrack too. Another thing, guys, if anybody has Facebook, go to our Facebook page and there is a review tab. Anybody wants to leave a review, it'll ask you on the tab, do you recommend the movie? You can say yes or no, hopefully it's yes. But after you put your answer, you can write a review, and the reviews help the movie out. So thank you guys so much for coming. This was so much fun. Thank you.
Remind them that.